So you want to be an animator but you're not sure where to even begin. You'd probably heard so much conflicting advice that instead of learning anything, it got you even more confused. Well, forget all that. In this video, I'm going to share a simple roadmap to help you get started on your animation journey. It's the same path that helped me land a job at an animation studio, so I can attest to you that it works. Now, back when I first started, my drawings weren't exactly masterpieces. Let's just say they needed some serious work. But I was lucky enough to get an internship at a studio, and that's where I learned the fundamental skills every animator needs. If you've been following my channel for a while, you've probably heard me say this over and over again, and that is because this was the very first thing our instructors taught us during our animation training. Animation is drawing the same character over and over and over again, so you need to be able to draw it consistently. The best way to draw them consistently is learning to draw these characters in as very simple shapes like circles, squares, and triangles. A good exercise is to print out pictures of your favorite characters and draw over them to figure out the basic shapes. Then try to redraw these basic shapes without tracing. Keep doing that until you feel comfortable in analyzing the shapes. Then afterwards, create your own characters using basic shapes. It's best to start with cartoon styles, which are usually simple than anime or realistic styles. Don't worry if you want to draw anime later on, you can learn those styles too. But it's easier to understand the basics with simpler styles first. If you like to learn the basic shape method, you can check the eye icon that should be on top of the screen now, or you can check the recommended videos in the description. But there's more to animation than just shapes. When things move, they change in 3D space. That means you need to learn how to draw them in a way that shows their depth. So now it's the best time to learn these basic drawing principles. Now, this first one really keeps every character what we call on model. When working on an animation project, we are given this thing which is called a character turnaround or a model sheet. Basically, when you draw a frame of an animation, it has to look the same as in the model. In order to do that, you're gonna have to learn to measure proportions. You've probably heard of this method before, but here's the gist of it. You take the measurement of the character's head, not including the hair, and apply that measurement on the rest of the body. So when someone said this character is 3 heads long, this is what they meant. It doesn't stop there, however. Proportion is not just measuring the heads. It's measuring the entire body. How big are the eyes? How long is the nose? How thick are the arms? How far is the top of this boot from the kneecaps? There are a lot of things to keep track of. It can be quite too much at the start, I know, but with practice, you'll be able to eyeball this eventually. Now, measuring these proportions are applied when the character is standing straight and stiff, but characters are hardly ever in that position, aren't they? With that in mind, when objects move, they move in a 3D space, which is why you're gonna have to learn how to draw them in perspective. These include 1-point perspective, 2-point perspective, 3-point perspective, and my favorite, foreshortening. Would you like to learn more about this? Let me know in the comments below. Even though we are drawing in a flat 2D, we always have to think that everything is in a 3D space. Guess what? The characters that you have to draw, they gotta have to look 3D as well, which is why you gotta apply some volume on your drawings. A lot of the time, people tend to overlook this, but a lot of volume mistakes happen when drawing clothing. They tend to draw the sleeves in a straight line, which makes the arms look flat. It's not just applied to the arms, it applies to every element of the subject. If you'd like to learn more about volume, hit the subscribe button and stay updated whenever I post a new tutorial video. In addition to this, you're gonna have to learn how to create a character turnaround. Basic concept art, eh? Now, you don't really need to go insane with this. Sometimes 3 angles are enough: front, side, and back. To learn how to make these turnarounds, there should be a video on the screen for you to click.